Hey there guys, and welcome back to LoveLive School Idol Festival. There's been a story going around the LoveLive School Idol Festival community as of late about someone apparently stealing an account by entering random numbers into the transfer code area upon starting the game up. Thankfully, this story turns out to not be true. Please do not spread this story as true. And even if it were, the chances of someone actually doing that to you specifically or to anyone who actually has an account are minuscule on the scale of like grains of sand in the universe. It's very unlikely to happen. But even though the story is fake and very unlikely, it did get people talking about account security and transfer codes and whatnot. So I figured this was as good a time as any to talk about how to protect your account. Whether it's your main account or your reroll accounts or whether you're going to be trading or anything like that, it's good practice to make sure that if anything goes wrong, you can always get your account back if need be. So there are two main basic ways to make sure that you can get your account back. First being, like I mentioned, transfer codes. If you hit the little blue icon in the right-hand corner of your menu, the other button, the gear button, it'll bring up this page, and you can hit the settings button from here, and you can see in the middle there's an option that says transfer passcode, issue, or enter. If you issue one, then it will generate a code that will be good for the next year. So you do have to generate one of these codes once a year if you do plan to keep transfer passcodes. And this code is linked to the information in your account. So if you are on a new device and you download LLSIF to that device, upon starting up the game, you'll be given an option to enter your transfer code, and if you do that, then it will automatically pull all the data from your account on your previous device, erase it from your previous device, and shift it all over to the new device. Similarly, if you accidentally delete the app or something like that from your device, and you have to start it up again for some reason, you can enter the code again at the beginning, and it will reload your account and make sure all your account information is restored. So obviously these passcodes are very, very useful and important, and you need to safeguard them. Best practice on that front is to screenshot it, and you should probably save at least one to your device and one to your computer as a backup. Another good form of redundancy is to write it down on paper somewhere and put it somewhere where you won't lose it. And if you live somewhere where you have, like, siblings or untrustworthy friends or acquaintances you don't want looking at it, you should put it somewhere where they won't find it. And also, if you have a School Idol Tomodachi account, you can save it privately and securely to your profile on there. So you have at least 3 or 4 different places you can save your transfer passcode, and make sure you never ever lose it. But if you're still worried about the very remote possibility of someone randomly guessing your passcode or stealing your passcode or something like that, another extra layer of security is to link your account to either Game Center or Google+, depending on whether you're on iOS or Android. It's Game Center for iOS and Google+ for Android. I'm just going to quickly unlink my account so I can show you here. I'm going to quickly unlink there. There we go, so you can see what that looks like. Alrighty, so here you can choose to link your account, and if you're logged into your Apple ID on your iOS, I'm just showing you on iOS because that's what I have. If you're logged into your Game Center, hello, that's my Game Center ID. If you're logged in, then it will automatically detect it on your phone and tie your account information to your Game Center account or Google+ account if you're on Android again. So that way you really don't even have to worry about transfer codes. You can just rely on the Game Center Google+ link, because that is a lot more secure than relying on the transfer code alone. There are reasons why you might not be able to do this, like if you're on JP and you don't have a Game Center account or a Google+ account that you want to use with your JP account, then you may need to just rely on transfer codes. But if you have an account that you can use with them, then by all means, go for it. It's very safe, and it makes it very easy to retrieve your account if something goes wrong. I asked for some details on this on Twitter, and people pretty much confirmed that, yeah, all you have to do if you lose your account or transfer your account over to a new device is just log in with your Game Center or Google Plus on your new device, download SIF, and when you load up SIF, it'll give you a quick thing saying like, account detected, would you like to load the information from this account? You say yes, and then your account is there. So there you go. But in the event that something does go wrong, or if you do have to only rely on transfer codes, or maybe you're looking at this video after the fact and something has already gone wrong with your account, then the next best thing you can do is to keep track of all the details of your account, everything you can find. So again, go to other. You should definitely be noting down several important things and always be keeping track of them in case you ever have to give information on your account to KLab, like if you need them to retrieve your account, or if you're having errors or technical problems with your account. You should always keep track of your account ID, your in-game name, the date your account was registered. Approximate is okay, like you can say it was like, oh, whatever month, whatever year. Your current rank, current teams, team names, a list of URs and SRs on your account, maybe Rs as well, the device and OS that you last used your account on, and the most useful, your Love Gem purchase history. Especially having your digital receipts from your purchases is super helpful in confirming that an account is yours, if you need to prove that to KLab. Some other nice things to have, but not necessary, would be maybe like the date that you last logged into an account, or the amount of Love Gems and or G that you had on the account, a list of songs that you full comboed, separated by difficulty, the levels of all your SRs, URs, and Rs, maybe a full member list including ends that you had. Obviously you can't necessarily keep track of all of this all the time unless you're super detail-oriented and meticulous. But if you have that information on hand, it's nice to have. And again, School Idol Tomodachi makes it a lot easier to keep track of many of these things, including your member list, your rank, your IDs, teams, and transfer code, and everything. So if anything ever does go wrong, again, email KLab for support. These are the email addresses you should contact if you ever have problems, not just with account loss, but just technical problems or other problems you may be having. There's an address for KLab EN, the address for KLab JP if you speak Japanese, or there is actually a form that you can fill out if you do happen to lose your Japanese account, that you can fill out and send to KLab JP. I'll provide a link to that in the video description. If you ever lose your JP account and you need to email KLab JP about it, then you can fill out this Japanese form and send it to them. And that should be pretty much it as far as just keeping your own account that you're going to be keeping safe. The rest of this video, I'm going to be talking about a few tips for trading accounts. I'm not necessarily a fan of trading myself. I love my main and I'm never going to get rid of it. Sometimes giveaways are fun, but trades can be a little dicey sometimes, so I'm not necessarily a fan. But I understand that not everybody feels the same way, and I don't judge you if you do trade, because trading can be fun sometimes. But a lot of things can go wrong with trades. So here's some tips for staying safe if you're trading accounts. Number 1 tip, try to use a middleman whenever possible when conducting a trade. No matter how trustworthy you think your trade partner is, it is always possible that they will turn out to be a big bag of d***s. I've seen it happen. So in order to keep both partners in a trade honest, you should probably make sure that there's a trusted third party involved. If both trade partners send their transfer codes to that trusted third person, and then the third person sends each partner the other person's code, then that makes things extra secure. So if you're doing in-person trades or trades among online friends, then the two people doing the trade can agree on someone that they trust to be their middleman and then ask them to do that for them. If you don't have a trusted middleman, there are places that will provide one for you. The big one is the subreddit r/SIF trades, and there will be some other sources listed in the description of this video showing other current safe trading sources that offer middlemen services. So you can always ask the moderators of communities like that, hey, can you really quickly middleman this trade for us? And usually won't be a problem. And that's definitely the safest way to do trades. Always try to use a middleman unless you're trading with, like, your super best friend that you've always known since childhood. And I don't know, maybe even then, they were just waiting since they were like 2 years old in the crib with you for the right moment to steal your Kotori account. I don't know. If a person is acting really suspicious and really averse to using a middleman for a trade, that's a pretty good sign that they might be up to something. Don't trade with that person in that case. At the very least, if you decide to take the risk and not use a middleman, at the very least, negotiate your trades in public, in a public forum on social media or like an actual bulletin board forum, so that there's a public record of what happened if your trade partner does run off with the account. Also, when judging the possible trustworthiness of strangers, make sure to inspect their screenshots. Is there anything that might give away that it's a Photoshop job, like weird pixels or alignment or anything like that? Are there cards that are out of order compared to what they ought to be? For reference, they always should be listed by Smile, Pure, and Cool, and then from newest release date to oldest within attribute. So you can see here within my URs, they're organized by rarity, and for the unidolized URs, they're organized Pure first and then Cool. If there were Smile, there would be Smiles before that. And like, say, within Cool, it's organized Rin Honoka, Nozomi Rin, which is the reverse order that they came out in. So the Constellation Rin was released most recently, New Year's Honoka before that, Christmas Nozomi before that even, and then Cheerleader Rin way back. So that's the order it should be in. Seeing screenshots without powerful cards being listed as in teams or favorited are also suspect, unless it's like a starter account or something. If your trade partner cannot provide additional screenshots upon request, that's also suspicious. And of course, you can also just plug the screenshot that they give you into like Google Images reverse search and see if that screenshot comes from another source or not. In which case, hey, how come you're using someone else's screenshot? Jerk. On that note, even if you plan to just give your account away and you don't care about it or whatever, and you're just posting the transfer code and the screenshot of your team willy-nilly, you should still be careful to watermark all your screenshots. Scammers like to steal screenshots and post them as their own to lure unsuspecting players with attractive accounts. So, when you post a trade or a giveaway or something like that, you should always overlay your username or logo on the screenshot in Photoshop to ensure that your account screens don't get misused. I do worry about that sometimes with my video stuff, because obviously you are seeing my team screenshot unaltered right now. But I think I'm fairly confident that my videos are well known enough that I think people would be able to spot when my accounts are being passed off as someone else's. Because people know my accounts at this point, I think. But anyways, yeah, you should be putting like your name or a logo overlaid on your screenshots in like Photoshop or some other image editing program before you post them. Only you can prevent LoveLive screenshot misuse. And note, if sadly something does go wrong that's unforeseen and your trade partner somehow gets away with it and steals your account, remember, KLab does not approve of account trading. They may be able to get your account back if you do get scammed and you have enough info to prove that the account is yours, but your request will likely have lower priority for KLab since you weren't acting within their terms of service. So it may take many, many months to get your account back, or it's possible you might not get it back at all. So all the more reason to ensure that if you do trade, that it is as close to 100% safe as you can make it. Okay, I think that is about it. With all those tips in mind, you should be able to keep your account nice and secure and tied to yourself. And yeah. Hope that helps, and good luck hanging on to your accounts. See you guys later. Bye-bye!